Hi, I'm Celeste. This is Floyd, our cat.
Hi, Floyd. Welcome to Tradition Kitchens. And hi, Celeste. We're so happy to have you. Ruby, do you want to tell everyone about the different Zoom views you can have, view or gallery, so they can see all the amazing people who've joined us today?
Oh, absolutely. So if I can orient you to your top right corner of your screen, should be on most screens. It depends whether you're going to be on your computer or on your mobile, but there are different options for how you're viewing on your screen. So if you click speaker view, whoever's going to be talking is going to be the biggest on your screen. If you click gallery view, you can see all the people and all the screens that are on here will be the same size. I like to keep it on gallery view most of the time, because I like to see everything that's going on in the Zoom call. But tonight we are lucky to have a couple of pages that you can click through. We have 4 right now. Very exciting. But yeah, so choose whichever one suits you the best.
Yes, and when you're on gallery view, you can see all of the participants. So I want to spotlight another lovely cat and family. Would you all like to say hello? Make sure you unmute on the left-hand side.
I'm Lucas and this is Bachi,
Hi,
our cat.
I'm
Hello.
Roxana,
Nice to meet you all. Where are you calling in from?
Homestead, Florida.
Great, this is so exciting. Thank you for saying hello on the kitchen cam. All right, I think we have time for a couple more quick kitchen cams. So we're back on gallery view. We are partial to pets. So I see Emily over here. I'm gonna spotlight you for everyone. Can you say hello with your cat?
Hi, I'm Emily. This is Sundu.
Fondue?
Sundu.
Oh, Sandu. I thought you were named after a food. Okay. And where are you calling in from? Oh, you just froze for me. Okay, we'll come back to you.
We're in Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville. Okay, wonderful. Great. Ruby, how many participants are we up to, and what should everyone do as they're dialing in?
We're up to 88 right now. And periodic wave of announcements. If you would like to, if you're just calling in and you'd like to tell us where you're calling in from, feel free to put it in the chat. We'd love to know. And again, if you want to tell us what's your favorite filling that you'd like to put in a fried food, it doesn't just have to be samosas, it could be anything. We also would love to know. We're polling in the chat right now, so put either one of those in the chat. We would just love to know.
Great, thank you. And it's fun to see some answers. If you're just joining us, that's Ruby, one of our Tradition Kitchens ambassadors. I'm Julia. I started the organization with my mom, who's actually downstairs getting all the materials ready to cook along, which is great. And we're just finishing up a kitchen cam as we wait for our wonderful group of participants. So I want to do a quick spotlight on Stephen. Stephen is one of our recent Tradition Kitchens ambassadors. Want to say hi and share where you're calling in from?
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephen. I'm from Long Island. It's so nice to see all of you here. I hope you enjoy and, have a great night and a Happy New Year.
Thank you. Yes, everybody has something fun now to spice up your new year. That was the hope of our class, and we're glad you're all staying home and staying safe and cooking with us. Who else? Anyone want to be kitchen cam spotlight? I'm looking for Brianna, who's our newest addition. Brianna, are you here?
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight you if you want to say hello. So hold on 1 second. Okay, you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Brianna. I'm also from Long Island. Me and Steven are actually friends from high school. So I'm super excited to be part of the team. I'm excited to see how this class goes. And it's so cool seeing where everyone is from. So have a great night.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really wonderful to see everybody from so many different places. Ruby, should we tell everyone about our favorite Zoom reactions so that if they want to share enthusiasm, they can express it?
Yeah, absolutely. Reactions are a great part of the Zoom controls, so we can share applause without, Abigail and Bernice are displaying that for us, but you can click in your little control panel that says participants chat and that kind of stuff, a little button that says reactions, and you can make a little applause or thumbs up. And so instead of us all unmuting and clapping, which doesn't work so well over Zoom, you can use those if necessary. And I see people demonstrating that. Great job. Amazing. Have the Zoom controls down. It's good to see.
Yeah, and also if you haven't played around with Zoom filters, you can try those out. If you have the upgraded version of Zoom, it's on the top left, and you go to preferences, scroll down a few, and it's under background and filters. You can do really fun video filters, so we'll entertain you a little bit. And we're almost ready to get started. We had a joke that I hope people will appreciate. It's said in love in the Jewish tradition, which Ruby and I and several others who we've mentioned, we have something called Jewish Standard Time. It means we start everything a few minutes late. I think every culture might have it. Parul and her mom and us were joking, we have Indian Standard Time. So in true standard time to all cultures who arrive fashionably late, I think we're ready to get started. Ruby, how many people do we have on this call?
We have a magical 101 people on the call right now.
Awesome.
Little applause. I see little applause. Thank you everyone for using the reactions. Yeah, I think we should get started. And if people want to keep signing on, that's great too. But yeah, I think we should push forward. So now that people are here, I just want to say a big welcome to everyone on here. And just before we start, I'd like to say a few words about Tradition Kitchen so everyone knows what exactly we're doing. So this class is facilitated through Tradition Kitchen, which is this organization which the main goal is to foster inclusivity and connectivity in this virtual kitchen space that we've created, especially during this time. We used to do in-person classes, but they had to be much smaller so we could, share a kitchen space. But now the silver lining of the current situation is the fact that we can have this huge global kitchen with people from all over the world. And we love to use different cuisines, and all people are welcome to our classes. And we're really just trying to connect people across the world and across generations to cook together. And I am an ambassador, and as we kind of highlighted, Stephen and Brianna are some of our other ambassadors. So it's great to have them on the call tonight. And Julia is our lovely co-founder. And I think without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to talk to Parul and her mom more about what we're going to be doing tonight and for the cooking demo.
Can I interrupt really quickly before we go to Parul and Geeta? Ruby, thank you for that amazing intro. You are doing a fantastic job, and we are so grateful to have you. Ruby was also sharing a few of our new values as an organization, which we recently released. Be sure to check out our Instagram or other social platforms for the really fun tossing of the spatula and more on our values. But we have a tradition. We like to start every class with a selfie. It's a Zoom selfie. These make me so happy. And all you have to do is turn on your video on the bottom left. We have 101 amazing attendees. We have broken all records. So we want to be able to capture all of you in this picture. I'm going to take 2. And look at your camera on your computer, and I'm going to do a countdown, and we're going to take a few shots. So Rhonda and Julia, we're waiting for you to join us on video. Terry, Karen, Devora, Renee, Christina, Annette, Jackie. I'm not going to read everybody, but truly we love to see everyone's faces. We don't care how messy your kitchen or your room is. It's totally cool. We're all in this together. So everyone look at your cameras. Bring your pets if they're with you, bring your family, and 3, 2, 1. I got one picture. I'm going to take one more, and hopefully those who are all on video, we have your smiles. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and I thank you so much, and I hope you'll stay on video. And I do want to just say a quick word about Parul and her family. I see her dad is also here. I have known Parul for a really long time. We grew up together outside of Atlanta, Marietta, Georgia. If anybody is from that area, let us know in the chat. We also have a few of our high school friends who are joining us. So we want to say hello to definitely Lindley, and I know a few others, so let us know. And it's great to see there's some locals. And I just want to say, like, it's been a very challenging time. We're all going through this together. But one of the silver linings, as Ruby said, has been to reconnect with old friends and to make new friends. And so Parul and I had lost touch, but thanks to the power of us thinking of one another and wanting to check in, here we are a couple of text messages later through the great work of Ruby to have this amazing class with all of you. So I want to thank Parul, her mom, her dad for sharing their culture with us. I'm so touched and honored and want to turn it over to you and recognize Ruby at the same time for her amazing work planning. So Parul.
Hi. Thank you so
Hello.
much for that introduction, Julia. And yes, it's great that we've been able to reconnect and connect with old friends. So hello to Lindley, like you said, and happy birthday to Austin, who I just saw it's his birthday too. But yeah, thank you for this opportunity. So yeah, I'm Parul. This is my mom, Geeta.
Hi,
My
I'm Geeta.
dad, Hemant, is running around back there somewhere.
Hi.
So we're going to talk about samosas today, which are a really famous Indian appetizer. They're everywhere. Excuse me, all over India. They've expanded into other cultures. I know there's versions like samosas in Ethiopia, and like you know, just other cultures have versions and variations of them. There's a ton of different types. The most traditional, which we're doing today, is going to be potatoes and peas and carrots. Veggie samosas are definitely, potato samosas are the most traditional. But my mom was just telling me actually that common beach street food is an onion samosa. I know that there's like lamb and beef. I've seen different versions of like fusion jalapeno and cheese, paneer, like you can put anything in it. So,
But potatoes are the traditional ones, so that's what I'm making right now.
and even within the potato ones, I think this is one of those foods that every family kind of has their own recipe. Everybody has a little bit of a spin. So if you've noticed in the ingredient list, a couple of items I've just put optional because really it's about what you like and how you would like the filling of your samosa to be. So if there's something that you like a little bit more or less of, it's not going to ruin anything. I think the most important part is the flaky pastry outer shell. And so that's what we're really going to be concerned about more than the filling. And then I'm going to kind of go through as we're cooking and say, well, this is what I like. I'm picky. So there's a couple of things that we include or don't include because of that. But, you know, different restaurants, different places, everybody will have their own take.
Yeah, and we are making even
Yes,
batata
and
vada.
so we've also been notified that some people are gluten-free. I am not familiar enough with gluten-free flours to know what would work. Because of the texture of the samosa, you kind of have to like roll out the dough and stuff for the pastry. Some of the gluten-free flours we've tried would not work. I know rice flour and chickpea flour would not work, and that's what we're the most familiar with. So we're also going to do batata vada. Batata means potato, and that's going to be a similar appetizer that is gluten-free, that uses chickpea flour. So we're going to go through some of that at the end to help accommodate for people with different diets. Yeah, so
I think that's it.
that's about it. So let's get started.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to say something?
No, I'm boiling more potatoes because I'm going to make 2 varieties. But for samosas, I'm going to use half of that, and the other half I'm going to use it for
The vada.
batata vada. So I'm boiling potatoes right now. Okay.
Okay. So basically, we just put a little bit of water in a bowl with the potatoes, and we're just going to microwave them for 5 minutes,
Then turn it over.
and then do another 5 minutes.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to make the dough. So I already measured 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And then I'm going to put a little bit of salt. Okay.
So the salt is to taste.
Yeah, it's up to your taste. So
I think we've got like a quarter spoon.
a quarter spoon, but it's up to you. And then
Add a quarter cup of oil. You can pretty much use whatever your favorite cooking oil is. We're just using vegetable oil, trying to keep things fairly traditional.
Parul, one quick second. Ruby's going to be reading some of the questions as they come into the chat. But Ruby, did you want to share the ingredients list if people were looking for that, and also read Rosalba's? Sorry, Allison's. Allison had a question, it looks like, and someone else did. I saw something else.
I see something about cutting or peeling the potatoes. So right now, we've microwaved them completely just as is with the skin on. We're going to peel them after they boil, and then you can cut them. We're going to mash them, but if you want to make like tiny little pieces, that's fine. I think that it's a little bit harder to get the masala to mix right, to get, get it evenly coated. So if you do small pieces, just make sure that they're very evenly coated. And you can bake the samosas instead of frying. We're frying them just from the standpoint of, making them the traditional way to make sure that they're crispy. But honestly, if we were making this at home, usually my mom bakes them. So you can just bake them. Oh, how much?
I just re-put the ingredients list in the chat for anyone that needs that.
Thank you. So we got the oil, salt, and all-purpose flour. My mom's gonna add a quarter cup of water.
Yeah, quarter cup of water first.
And I saw that the chat, somebody included a gluten-free gum to help it roll out. So hopefully that helps people. I'm not too familiar with the use, so it's so their dough is really oily. It shouldn't be too oily.
And it's quarter cup first. Now I'm adding a little bit more, like maybe another 1/8 cup.
We have about 1/8 of a cup extra of water. There's no reason to do the microwave potatoes versus the boiling them in water. It's just quick and easy. And that's just what we're used to doing to make it go a little faster. But whatever you're comfortable with, it's just important that they're properly boiled. So you can see the dough starting to kind of come together. Think, how much more did you add? Did you add about half a cup?
No, I added 1/8. Wait, it's going to be half a cup.
It's going to be total half a cup, but just go slowly so that you don't overhydrate the dough.
I think this should do. So half a cup of water. If you have to knead it well.
So you have to keep kneading it really well. You keep working the dough.
So that it's going to be flaky.
So this is what you're looking for. Like it kind of becomes a ball, kind of like a bread. Does it have to be half a cup of water or a quarter? So we started with a quarter and we just kept adding water until it came to this consistency. So it's about half a cup
of water. Yeah.
Water.
One.
And you're just looking for it to kind of come together into a ball like this, and then just keep working it. Yes, we did already add the oil.
First oil and salt, and
first try adding the salt, the all-purpose flour, and the oil, and then as you're working the dough, you'll slowly add the water.
So this is how it should look.
And Ruby, I'm trying to get the questions, but please let me know because I know I'm not getting all of them.
We like to sometimes take a little break and do kitchen cam during the preparation. So gonna see how people are doing. Ruby, do you have that ability to do the spotlight as co-host?
I don't think so.
Okay, I will do it. Let's check in with our friends over here.
So this is
how-
the finished product, Julia, before you move on. Just to make sure people
Oh.
Yes, so I've pinned, there we go. We have Parul and her family's on the right, and then Roxana and family looking great. Thank you. All right, who else wants to show us how it's going? Let's see, Dorian, I'm gonna add you. Let's see. Oh, nice. Well done. Thanks for showing us. Let's see. I'm going to do a quick scan. It looks like Rick. And then Allison, you're up next. Rick, do you want to show us how it's going? Rick and your +1. Cool. Amazing. Thank you. All right. And we'll do Allison. I just saw you. Look like you were doing a great job. So we'll add you to the spotlight. How's it going in your kitchen? Do you want to show us? Great. Thanks. All right. Ruby, do you want to read those other questions?
Absolutely. So Kathy's asking, after the ball of dough comes together, how much longer are you going to need to knead it?
Just a minute or something, not more.
Yeah.
Till-
You just want to make sure everything is like thoroughly integrated.
Yeah.
You don't really need to keep kneading it for a long time, just a little bit, you know, like a minute after to make sure it's all properly together.
And over here,
I think somebody asked also about baking. So if you don't want to deep fry, you can bake them about 350 degrees. You want to get them a golden brown, so you're probably looking at what?
maybe about 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm not
Keep
sure.
an eye on them.
Usually, I don't bake, so I'm not exactly sure. No, you bake the other ones, not this one. So.
Do you ever make the dough in like a Cuisinart? You can. It's just important to get it integrated together. What if your dough is sticky, and can we pan fry instead of deep fry? If your dough is sticky, I think that means there's a little bit too much water. So, right, you should probably add a little more all-purpose flour, because you want to be able to roll it out. I think it's going to be a little bit difficult if it's sticky. I forgot the other question I just read.
Oh, it's can we pan fry instead of deep fry?
Oh, can you pan fry instead of deep fry?
If you pan fry, I don't think the dough inside is not going to cook.
Yeah, it might not cook all the veggies and stuff.
Yeah, all the way.
It's probably better to bake it if you don't want to deep fry it.
I do the air fryer.
Yeah, you can air fry, which is about the same, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure of the settings on that though.
I mean, baking for about 20 minutes, you can say 350.
You're gonna see,
Like
you know, like
golden
what it looks
brown.
like on the outside. So, yeah.
Usually I don't pay much attention. I just see if it's golden brown, I just take it out.
So I think in past episodes we've discussed that my mother is very into, just eyeball it, just add enough to taste. And so there's gonna be a little bit of that going on. But I think once you see the consistency, it'll be pretty easy to figure out. Basically, we're looking at baking for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So after the traditional, my mom's also going to do like a super easy hack using tortillas as the shell. And that's what she usually bakes, which is why we're having a little bit of a struggle with the really traditional ones, but I know it can be done. These are sort of things that my mom really makes for like a party or something like that.
The traditional kind.
The very traditional ones.
It's almost done.
So while the potatoes are still going, I'm going to go through a little bit of the spices. So we've got ginger, green chilies, amchur, which is
this is
this is amchur. Amchur, which is a dried mango powder that you can find in like most Indian stores or international markets. If you are unable to find it, it's really kind of a tart taste that you're adding to the flavor profile. So you can just add some lemon juice and it should still taste pretty decent.
This is cumin powder.
It's cumin powder. You can use whole cumin. I personally do not like whole cumin, which is why we're using the powder. And then this is coriander seeds. And so
these are the coriander seeds.
So if you go to a restaurant, you'll see a little bit more coarsely ground coriander seeds. I like them a little bit, thinner. So my mom's just kind of done this here to make sure that you don't get that like bite of flavor and everything. But we're going to kind of integrate these together into the potatoes so that you get a little bit of flavor. So like I was saying, if you use small pieces of potatoes, make sure it's thoroughly coated with all of the spices. But what we're going to do is mash and add everything together. If you want to do something a little bit faster, you can get those like mashed potato, the fake potato bags, and just add some of these spices to them, and it'll work too. The powdered potatoes. And so I think our potatoes are about boiled, right?
I think so.
So we're just going to peel them and then mash them together with the spices now.
Oh, it's not done. Maybe another 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I think the spices are listed in the chat, but what we're using is cumin, coriander seeds, amchur, ginger, and fresh chilies.
And then I'm going to use some chili powder and salt to this.
You peel them before boiling? Yeah, I think that's fine. It's
that's fine. As long as it's
you just need
boiled.
them eventually boiled and peeled. The order and the way that happens is entirely up to you.
I'm used to this.
But as far as microwave versus not or anything like that, I think it doesn't really. It's okay either way.
Yeah. I have one spoon on.
Okay. Do you want to start adding the spices to the oil, or do you want to wait?
I mean, I could add the potatoes.
Okay. So we have about a tablespoon and a half of oil in a bowl, and we're gonna just start adding the spices to it. And once the potatoes are done, we're just gonna add the mashed potatoes in too. Have you ever used whole wheat flour or bread flour?
Whole wheat,
yes. You can definitely do it. It's obviously a slightly different taste, but it definitely works. Bread flour?
I haven't used it. I think we can use that too. Yeah.
It should work. So for our samosas, we're doing peas and carrot. Like I said, whatever you really like is fine, but that's a super traditional one.
I'm adding salt.
How much? Okay.
Maybe a spoon.
So we've got about a salt, but really, I mean, once you integrate everything together, you can taste it. And how?
This is the point where I'm like, I wish it was scratch and sniff for those of us who may be just watching and not cooking along, because these spices, they smell amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm adding about quarter spoon, I can say, of chili powder.
Do you have a place, I know I was talking to Parul about this, where you like to buy your spices? Are they more authentic from a local market? plug for small businesses, or what's your secret to finding the best flavorful spices? We have some suggestions in the chat. Feel free to answer if you have an opinion.
I missed that place.
Uh,
I think places like that, like the DeKalb Farmers Market.
oh yeah,
and,
DeKalb Farmers, they have these.
There's
and
no
then,
liquid in the spices. It's just the oil. There's like a spoon of oil that we've added everything to before we mixed it. So that's why it looks a little bit liquidy.
Yeah, this is all mixed in oil.
We definitely go to like from a small business perspective, like local Indian markets, like Indian stores, I guess. In Atlanta,
Or in Atlanta, you have in what is it, DeKalb?
Yeah, DeKalb has a bunch of
Indian stores, and then on Pleasant Hill Road on the 85 and exit 104.
Yeah, there's a whole global mall in Atlanta. That doesn't help anyone that's not from Atlanta, but there are a lot of little Indian stores. The carrots are not cooked, right?
No,
carrots are just everything's been just chopped and added.
No, these are frozen. Frozen peas and carrot. You can use fresh ones too. If you're using fresh ones, I think it's better to put them in hot water for a little while so that it's
just get them a little bit soft. So one of the famous Indian stores is called Patel Brothers. There's like a Patel Market, Patel Brothers, Patel Cash Carry, like all over the place. So, you know, that helps. As far as someone commented on the fact that our spoons do not look like quite a quarter teaspoon, things like that. So this goes back to my mother's eyeballing it and just adding what works for us. That's just, you know, kind of some of this stuff we've added a little bit more than we think other people might be comfortable with as far as spices, you know, and so there are things that my mom's just kind of using a spoon in an amount she's comfortable with, but I think officially the recipe is a little bit more traditional. So a lot of the filling, like I said, you can kind of it is generational. So I said my mom doesn't measure for her recipes. It's a complaint I've had for a while. But yeah, exactly. So some of these amounts aren't quite what we're saying, so just ignore that.
Should we check in and see on the kitchen cam how everyone's doing?
Yeah.
Go to gallery view, maybe look in. We also have some kitchen observers, which is totally cool too. We welcome that, so you can take the best notes. I'm gonna go to, and please help me say your name properly, Ashura.
Hi. Where are you? Hi. Doing good.
Wow, looks awesome. Thank you for showing us. All right, let's take a look. Ruby, can you see anyone else I should spotlight? How about, who haven't we done yet? Dale, let's try Dale. Let's check in with Dale and friends. How are you doing in your kitchen?
Doing okay, got this going, waiting for the dough. We're good to go. Everything's separated out into the individual little things. Waiting to go, putting it together.
Love it. Thank you for showing us your cooking. And let's see. Let's find out how you're learning. Eric, you're listening so intently and watching and smiling. Say hi for us.
Hi.
Where are you calling in from?
Pittsburgh, PA.
Awesome. Are you a friend of the Nadelsons?
Yeah, I am.
Great. We love Pittsburgh people. We love people from all places. Thank you. All right, back to the main event.
So I think someone
peeling the potatoes, so
yeah. So somebody asked if we added the ginger and the spices all together. Yes. So all of that's in here, all of the veggies, and soon the potatoes.
I'm peeling potatoes, so
Yeah, in retrospect, we should have done this first.
Yeah, I mean, usually, but in 10 minutes.
There was a little bit debate in this kitchen about whether the potatoes needed to be boiled first or not, and we figured it shouldn't take that much time. And
Usually
unfortunately,
I make it in 10 minutes, but today it took 15. I don't know why.
so someone's asking about the mint chutney. We had not really planned on doing the mint chutney, but actually my mom just made some, so we can go through the recipe. It's really about blending together. What is it? We're doing a cilantro one. You can do cilantro or mint to go with these. What goes in the chutney? You got?
I usually make cilantro chutney. I don't use mint, but yeah, some people, they like to use mint and cilantro because you have to use both. But I personally prefer just cilantro. So this is something I usually make and keep it for different snacks. So I make once in every 10 days or something. And as soon as it's over, I make another batch. So
maybe we should backtrack to people that are unfamiliar with samosas. Usually they're served with two types of chutney. There's the tikka chutney or the spicy chutney, and then the Mita Chutney, which is the sweet chutney. You can really eat this with anything that's kind of like a sweet and sour, sauce, dipping sauce. So like kids will eat them with ketchup, like, that type of thing. So the cilantro is mango chutney works. Yeah, anything. So yeah, that's what I said. Like usually you can do ketchup or something like that. But the mint or cilantro is the spicy, the tikka chutney, and then the Mita chutney is it's usually made with dates. We're gonna do like a quick and easy version using apple butter, but we can go through the recipe at the end, and because all you're really doing is blending ingredients for both of the chutneys. They're pretty easy. Can we substitute the potatoes with sweet potatoes?
if you want
Yeah,
to, yeah. I mean, like I said, yeah.
It's really all about what you like. So I mean, you absolutely can to have a little bit sweeter flavor. That's fine. As far as blooming the spices in hot oil instead of working them in cold oil, I don't think that really works for this, just because everything's still going to get cooked within the samosa. So I know for a lot of Indian, cuisines, you would bloom the spices in hot oil, but this is just not one of those. I think these are golden potatoes. And then somebody likes the fact that we're using frozen.
Like I said, you can even use that mashed potato packet, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
You should not be doing anything with the dough ball. We're just working all of these together. So we're just letting it rest. If you do use fresh carrots, definitely get them a little bit soft. You don't need to completely boil them, but you should boil a little bit so that they're not super crispy.
And I love that you can just use a regular spoon for, mushing everything together. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody asked if it should be the consistency of like a pizza dough. That sounds perfect. Yeah, like a pizza dough consistency for the dough.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like you could just mash them together with a spoon. The important thing is just, making sure everything's blended together properly. So that you don't get like a bite of potato and then another bite of spice after that. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but
it has to mix well. It doesn't have to be completely mashed. You can have a little bit of pieces. It doesn't matter.
So I think a lot of restaurants will have kind of this, like more tiny pieces. So just as long as everything's mixed together and working well, I think you're fine. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're comfortable, of course, using your hand always is a chef's dream, right? So it's probably the best way to get everything perfectly mixed together.
Spices is according to your taste. So we like a little spicier, so I added a little more, less.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, we're kind of adding a little bit extra beyond the recipe that was sent out just to make it a little bit spicier, a little bit, more of the flavors that we like, but it's really up to you. So I personally hate mustard seeds. Like I really don't do well with mustard. So we are not using mustard in the recipe. I think usually some of people will have cumin, not really mustard. I haven't seen a lot of recipes that call for mustard, but if that's a flavor that you like, I mean, that's fine to add in, but I think generally it's more cumin instead.
Usually you don't see
Yeah. So somebody asked about blooming the spices in hot oil. No, that wouldn't normally work for this. I think it's better to do cold oil because it's still getting cooked. What are the seeds used in the dough sometimes? Is that coriander seeds?
In the dough?
Yeah, or fennel. They use the little seeds in the dough.
Dough they usually don't use. If they use cumin.
Cumin? Okay. So yes, the dough could have cumin in it. Again, I don't like cumin, so we're not really using the cumin seeds in anything. We just use the cumin powder in the filling. Just because I don't like the seeds, I don't mind the flavor. But if you'd like to, you can definitely include cumin before you add the water in the dough. So we're just getting our plate ready for the frying. Are we about ready to turn on the oil?
Let me make the samosas and then I'll tell you, or else.
So now we're actually going to do
the
samosa, make the pastry. So one thing in Indian cooking, so in India, there's a lot of different religions. There's Hindu, Muslim, there's Christian people, Jewish people, like everybody, right? And different sects of each religion. So one thing that you see a little bit less of is surprise elements. Like you're not going to have something that's questionably meat added into a veggie dish just because there's so many people that won't eat it. So they don't do egg washes usually. So if you're going to add dough together and try to get it to stick instead of using an egg wash paste like we would do, what they tend to do is use all-purpose flour.
And this is what I'm making, the paste.
And add a little bit of water to it so you can see the consistency. We should not have used a white dish. I don't think that's...
Sorry.
Okay.
You want me to change the dish?
No, I'm just doing this angle. Julie, can you see this okay?
Yep, we have you pinned. So if anyone's having trouble seeing.
I'm going to change the dish from white to some other color.
Yeah, it just looks a little bit bright. So basically what she's making is the equivalent of an egg wash. It's just because so many people don't eat egg. In a lot of Indian cooking, there's no reason to add an egg wash to an otherwise
because a lot of people, they don't eat eggs.
Yeah, a lot of people. So, I mean, it's a little bit more rare to see things like, well, it's a veggie soup, but there's a little bit of chicken broth. Oh, it's, it's a veggie dish, but there's a little bit of lard. So, yes, it's just flour and water that's being added together to create paste.
Why don't you come this side? Or let me put it.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So we're just trying to make a paste instead of an egg wash to get the dough to stick together a little bit more. This dough generally tends to stick together, but if you need a little bit extra help, that's a good glue.
And
Yeah, but my dad wants to remind everyone not to use super glue. So we're back to the dough. It's been sitting there for a little while, so we're just gonna knead it for a couple of minutes to get it activated again.
As you're doing that, someone Irv requested just a couple extra minutes. Parul, it was interesting to hear a little bit about India and the different religions and traditions there. I was just curious, could you share a little bit about like samosas and your family and what makes them special to you all?
it's just
I think it's if somebody's dough is breaking apart, what do you do if your dough is breaking apart? Do you need more oil or more?
breaking apart.
Yeah, it's too dry.
It's
maybe?
too dry. So little water, maybe.
Yeah. Just try a little bit at a time. Don't overdo it.
Yeah,
so.
don't.
So the egg wash isn't actually egg wash. It's just all-purpose flour and water, just enough to get it.
Yeah, it's
paste-like.
like a paste. It's like a glue.
So,
Glue.
Julia, back to you about samosas. I mean, samosas are definitely a very like traditional comfort food,
Yeah.
easy snack. There's so many different ways to do it that it becomes everything gets a little bit of a personalized touch. I kind of feel like nobody ever hates on dough and potatoes. So every culture will have some version of bread and potato. That's just a great comfort food.
And I made like 5 balls.
Yeah. So
and it's not like you use for a particular holiday or anything. It's just a comfort food whenever you want to eat something or you're having a party, you want to make something.
It's the best appetizer that people are comfortable with. They're
like.
fairly healthy. I understand that we're deep frying them, but you know, it's not necessarily everything else in it is kind of veggies and flour. So it's generally something that most people can eat. And so they're definitely a very traditional dish to have at weddings or some kind of a big event like that. Is there like one religion versus others? That is this like a Hindu thing or like anybody eats that?
No, I don't think it's a Hindu thing.
Yeah, I think here, go slower. People are trying to keep up. That's why we're talking. Yeah, so I think everybody in India, like all the different religions will eat it, but as far as like the fillings might vary based on what what region you're from, what you're more comfortable eating. So even like I said, within the religions, there's so many different different ways to practice and different sects and stuff like that. So there's different people that eat different things, and so I think this is a great way to personalize it for yourself. As far as the balls, we made about
5.
We made about 5. So how big would you say they are?
Maybe about
a little bit smaller than a tennis ball. She's just kind of rolled the dough into 5 and then just kind of pressed them a little bit to make them a little bit flat. We're gonna actually roll these out into an entire round, and so it's just easier if they're flattened out a little bit. So the golf ball size, I would say, is good for like a cocktail samosa. We're doing a little bit bigger, so it's a what kind of rolling pin is that? It's just a standard wooden.
Just, the standard Indian kind, which I'm used to.
So it's just a wooden rolling pin.
You can use whichever you are comfortable.
And then I think people sometimes have those like tortilla makers and like flattener thingies. Just anything to make. Essentially, if you're making any kind of a tortilla type of thing at home, that's what we're looking for. These are a little bit bigger than like I said, about tennis ball shape, because that's probably the size that you find at like a restaurant. We've done the golf ball size for like hors d'oeuvres, just a cocktail samosas. You can really make them as big as you want based on what they're for, if they're going to be a snack versus a meal versus It does have to be flat because we're gonna cut this and turn it into a cone to be stuffed. So you want them to be fairly thin.
About tortilla.
Yeah, you want it to be kind of like a tortilla. What do you use if you don't have a rolling pin? I have rolled out pizza dough using an empty wine bottle. So really anything that is heavy enough that you can roll with should be fine. So you don't have to use a rolling pin. It's just that's
Yeah,
what she's
anything
used to.
as
That's
long
easier.
as you can make something like that.
So you just want it to be thin and flat. Really anything that you've got that's got a heavy base to it.
And now I'm gonna cut this.
Julia, should we wait a few more minutes? I feel like we've moved on ahead.
Oh yeah. I can
Yeah,
wait.
let's wait. Ruby, what do you think? We'll give everyone a moment to kind of catch up.
Yeah,
And we
I
can
think
do a
that's a good
kitchen
idea.
cam, maybe.
How many inches across would you say this is diameter?
You usually measure well. Do you?
9 inches.
9 inches?
11.
Do you think it's 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking at about 9 inches to whoever asked.
I mean, it doesn't
And
matter
again,
which.
yeah,
The size doesn't matter.
we're doing about the size that they usually do at restaurants, but you can go
Yeah.
smaller or bigger. But yeah, sorry, Julia, move on. I saw that
Oh,
question.
No, there's so many questions. It's good to help everyone. Let's see. I'm gonna kitchen cam Jasper and Simona. I don't know if you're cooking along. If you are, show us. If not, just say hello and let us know where you're calling in from. You want to unmute on the bottom left and say hi?
Hi,
Hi, where are you calling in from? Could you share?
we're from Canada, Ontario.
Great. Welcome. It's great to have you. And what grade are you in?
I'm in grade 5. My brother's in grade 3.
Oh, wow. I saw him earlier. If he wants to say hi or mom or dad want to say hi, let us know. Hi. Thanks for coming. We love everyone watching and cooking along with us. So Irv, you've been asking a lot of great questions. Can we spotlight you with the kitchen cam? Okay, let's say hello. Unmute on the bottom left. There you
Hi,
go.
how are you?
Great. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from Maplewood, New Jersey.
Awesome. And are you cooking with us as we go?
We are. I have an assistant, so my wife's out of the camera, and we're working the dough, trying to follow along with that, working the dry ingredients and mashing the potatoes. So I'm a little bit slower probably than the average person on the call, but we're catching up.
No worries. Everybody goes at their own pace. That's great. Well, we're so glad you're here. And for everyone, if you haven't had a chance, we love to know how you found us. It's really fun to have 101 people on this call, right, Ruby? Do you want to just ask everybody to share a bit more and let us know where they found us? Oh, you're on mute still. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like people are answering the question, which is great. And we'll go back to Ruby in a moment. Oh, I love it. We have some extended friends. Eventbrite, who knew? We're going to have to give them a shout out on social media. That's really, really exciting. And let's see. I want to make sure people feel like they're catching up. Let's kind of check out what's happening with Pamela and her kitchen. Do you want to say hi and unmute? Let us know where you're calling in from.
Julia, before you go, let me ask one thing. Somebody asked about the oil that she added. If it starts kind of sticking to the surface, you can just kind of dip the balls in a little bit of oil just to hydrate them a little bit, and then it's easier to roll out. So, sorry, continue. I just want to make sure I got that.
No, totally fine.
Yeah, sometimes it sticks to.
Let's say hi to Pamela. Are you ready to unmute and show us how you're doing?
I have some rolled out already.
Awesome. Looks great. And where are you calling in from?
Upstate New York.
What part?
Near Cooperstown.
Near Cooperstown, the famous baseball. Cool. I love it. I went to college in upstate New York, so I love it up there. So
It's
fun.
beautiful. We've got beautiful snow and the moon is full and the snow's all sparkly.
Oh, that sounds really, really nice. Well, stay warm and inside. A question, Ruby, I'll let you monitor the chat since we did kitchen cam.
We have a question from Irv. Does any black pepper go in with the filling?
We did not put any black pepper in there. I think you
If you
got the
want to.
spice kick already, but yeah, if that's a flavor that you like that you want to add, that's fine. But we did not add any. I think traditionally
Yeah,
they
this is
don't.
what
We use the green
I'm
chili
just making
instead.
the traditional kind, but like I said, the spices you can add whatever you want and just omit the ones which I added, which you don't like. So it doesn't matter what you add. It's all according to your taste.
Okay, I think people might be trying to run out. So do you want us to make at least the first
Yeah.
samosa, like wrap it, Julia, or should we wait? Someone asked about wonton wrappers. You can
Yeah.
definitely use wonton wrappers.
Yeah, so just a question, Thomas, just so you know, when Parul looks at the chat, it turns her screen to black for a moment, and it's
Sorry.
just momentarily, so just have some patience. It comes right back, and if anybody's having trouble seeing, it's pinned. Just make sure that you're in speaker mode right now, rather than gallery, so you can get the full close-up effect. And it looks like people want to see a rolled version, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's.
I just rolled it and cut
Okay,
it.
so we rolled out a couple and started. So yeah,
This
why
is
don't
how
you
it
start wrapping
looked.
it?
This is how it looked.
No,
and I
that's
cut
fine.
them.
They're saying
Wrap
fill it,
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
wrap it.
Okay, now.
So basically what you want to do is kind of make thirds. You're going to bring one third down and then 1/3 over. This dough should stick together. She's going to just kind of work
Press
the
it
ends.
a little bit.
If it doesn't stick together too well, then that's where you would use our dough wash, I guess. This is what you would call it, our little paste. So this is the cone that you're going to be filling. If you can make a little cone like that, doing the 1/3 method. And then you can stuff as much as you want. You don't want to get it all the way to the top because obviously you still have to close it. So just a couple of good spoonfuls, and then try to seal it up. This part's definitely important because you don't want that to come out when you're frying it. So we're trying to add like a little finger length space of overlap right there.
And this is how it looks.
So this is your final product. These can be frozen. Like if you're
At
making
this
this for like
stage.
at the stage, if you're making them for like a party or something, you can freeze these and then deep fry them, up to like a week later.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to like make snacks and keep them around and then deep fry them on demand, you can definitely do it at that stage.
It doesn't matter which flap goes.
Yeah.
Where.
How deep should the oil be in the pan? You really want to just cover the samosa.
Samosas.
So
let me turn it on.
Yeah, we're gonna actually turn it on now. We didn't quite make it that far. So the other hack that we're gonna do on this is if you don't have the ingredients for the dough, you don't really want to do this. You need a quick snack. You can cut a tortilla in half and do exactly this method of filling, and you definitely need the dough wash for that. Tortillas don't really stick to themselves that well, but you could use that paste and stick it together and seal it up and then fry or bake those. So the narrow end of the cone is the midpoint of it's the center of the circle.
Yeah. The reason I'm pressing slightly so that the filling goes all the way to the end.
So you can kind of work the filling within the pastry.
I'm trying to seal this. I'm gonna make these later.
Yeah, why don't we do those later? And then do you
And,
want to do the batata
tor-
vada?
A tortilla, and then I'll do the batata vada. As ఇక్కడ
So I know we mentioned gluten-free alternatives. I think the tortilla version, definitely you can get gluten-free tortillas and you know, do that. We're gonna do one of the tortillas as soon as she's done with this last one over here.
I love all the colors. It's so beautiful.
Right. We love our food to be colorful. I think that's the only really important thing.
we like our clothes to be colorful.
Yeah, everything
Food to be, everything has to be colorful.
Yeah, you're not in traditional sari attire tonight. I forgot to
I
request
thought
it.
about that.
Did you really? We did not add turmeric to this, but I think you can. I don't think it's a necessity.
Yeah, we can add turmeric. Okay, now I'm gonna make.
Yeah, so Julia, back to what you were saying, like I think if my dad had his way, I think we would be like decked out in saris like all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely like loves the whole traditional thing. And I think first of all, we're lazy. Second of all, COVID has made us even lazier. There's no reason to dress up. So
Okay, with tortillas, I prefer not half. I make 3, like
cut it into thirds.
Yeah. The reason is because tortilla, for some reason, it's not going to fry the way the traditional samosas. So you don't want it to be.
Yeah, it gets a little bit like raw, because of the overlap portion. The overlap portion in the traditional samosa, it still fries up okay, but in the tortilla, it's kind of a personal preference. It doesn't taste quite the same, so it's easier to just make this into thirds, and then you're gonna fold each of the thirds into half.
Okay. Now this is
So
where
this definitely needs the paste, so you can see that being used.
and pinch it real well so that it sticks.
If you use all-purpose flour to make the glue, you're correct, it will not be gluten-free, but I think there might be other gluten-free alternatives too.
Maybe whole wheat flour or
Is that
pancake
gluten-free?
mix.
Is that gluten-free though?
This
The
one?
paste.
The paste is regular all-purpose.
That's what she's saying. That makes it not gluten-free. So what's another thing you can use for the paste?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe pancake mix, gluten-free
Okay.
pancake mix.
So if you get like a gluten-free pancake mix or I think anything sticky.
Yeah, anything sticky.
Why are samosas this shape? Because the first person that ever made a samosa did that and everyone else followed suit. That's all I got for you. I have no idea. Cornstarch might work for the glue, yeah. Yeah. What's the spice called that gives the samosa an aromatic flavor, or is it just a combination? I think it is just a combination of the spices. How much oil did we use in the pan? We're just using enough to cover the samosas.
Okay, this is done. I'm gonna fry these. In the meantime, we can go ahead and till the oil gets.
So our oil is not hot enough to fry, so we're gonna start the batata vada, which is the gluten-free alternative. It's a different snack entirely, but you know, it's a little bit similar.
Made all over India, but it's called different. It's not samosa because batata vada is they call it batata vada from where my husband comes from, but where I come from, the state, they call it Bonda. So aloo bonda, and batata vada is where my husband comes from. So batata means potato, and whereas aloo is also potato. And I come from South India, and my husband comes from the state Gujarat. It's in the west. So
is that one open? That one's opening.
It's opening. I think it's now. I have chickpea flour and a little bit of rice flour, maybe a spoon. I have about half a cup, no, 1 cup of chickpea flour and about 1 tablespoon of rice flour. Rice flour is because it gives a little bit of crunchiness. It's not too soft. And I'm adding a little bit of salt. Salt according to your taste. And
but about how much did you put in?
About half a spoon. And I'm gonna add chili powder, and even this is optional. If you don't want it to be too spicy or too hot, you don't have to put chili powder. Even this one, I'm putting about half a spoon. For that.
Oh,
okay. And let me just go ahead and add some oil.
How much oil?
Just maybe a spoonful. Let me just go ahead and take out a spoon.
We should schedule this for an hour and a half.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It always takes a little longer. We appreciate everyone sticking with us and the cooks hard at work in their kitchens.
So I just added about 2 spoons of this. Maybe this is about half a tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon of, and then I'm going to mix it with water.
How much water?
Water,
we'll show you the consistency.
And let me measure. I'm not sure. So maybe about 3/4 of a cup, or maybe about a cup. 1:1, 1. This is 1/4 cup. So You have to mix it really well without the lumps.
So as I was saying before, these doughs that we're used to that are gluten-free tend to be a little bit stickier. So you know, it's more paste-like.
Okay, you can use about 3/4 for 1 cup, 3/4 of water.
So 3/4 cups of water.
Have 1 tablespoon of oil, and then.
So what we're doing now is the gluten-free other appetizer, which is the bonda, not the pakora. And so it's the chickpea flour mix, and it's a different snack. We're just waiting for the oil to heat. So we're making this dough for a gluten-free snack option. So this
we
this
had
has
a
nothing-
special request. Shout out to my cousin Bob, who may or may not be on, but he'll be definitely watching, who's gluten-free. And so we realized everybody has different dietary restrictions. So we wanted to be as inclusive as possible, living up to our values, to give a snack alternative option for everyone. Thomas asked, can you be gluten-free in Indian culture? It'd be challenging.
I don't. You know what? You probably can be and never notice, because I mean, like bonda is a gluten-free snack and we never even think about it. So I think there's a lot of foods that are different, you know, like vegan or gluten-free, that we just never label as such and never notice.
Okay. This is the other potatoes which I boiled.
So this is the bonda filling. So we put about 2 potatoes in, some lemon juice, some oil. Did you put oil? Not oil.
No,
Sorry, salt.
No oil. Salt, and I have green chili paste. And even this, if you don't want it to be spicy or something, you don't have to put green chili.
Omit.
And then maybe. This is 1, 2 teaspoons, you think?
Is that a tablespoon or a teaspoon?
No, this is not a tablespoon.
Okay.
Okay. Now mix all this together. Okay.
So the ingredients again are potato, green chili,
lemon juice, and salt. That's it. And here you can put some seasoning, heat oil, a little bit of oil, and put mustard, cumin seeds in it and mix it. But Parul doesn't eat mustard, cumin seeds, so I'm not putting any in here.
So this is going back to the blooming in oil. We can definitely do that with this filling.
And you make balls, small balls.
Would you say golf ball?
Yeah,
Golf
maybe golf
ballish?
ball or smaller. It all depends on. Okay. I'm gonna. I think that's oil is done. So I'm just gonna make these and then show it, and then the rest I can make it later.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me go ahead. I think the oil is.
So the oil's about ready. Yeah, I can send out the ingredients. I think somebody else asked about the dipping sauces too. So what I was saying is you can just have like a sweet and sour dipping sauce for each of these. But we can send out the ingredient list.
Yeah, this is a last minute thing, so I didn't write it.
Yeah.
So now the oil is hot.
Wait, do you want to do the dough thingy to test the oil? Or no?
Yeah.
We're okay. So we're using vegetable oil. Really any deep frying oil would work.
See,
this is what you're looking for, because I know people are using like different types of oil. So you just stick a little bit of the dough in, and you want it to immediately kind of
it comes up.
Yeah, rise to the top like that. So that's what you're looking for in the different oils that you're using.
Okay,
Ours is like
now I'm putting the samosas.
we can definitely send out the ingredient list. This just was not originally planned, so we didn't have it, but I can send it out to the list. Is this the tortilla ones?
No, tortilla ones are there on that side.
So you just want these to be kind of like a golden brown.
On both sides.
So
This
there
is
you
how
go.
it looks
Flip
like.
it, go back, golden brown. And then we've just kind of laid it out on just regular paper towels to absorb some of the oil. I don't think these absorb too much oil, but
still, I mean,
just to get the
okay,
excess.
these are the regular samosas. Now I'm going to make
These are the tortillas.
tortillas.
And again, you can definitely bake these. How hot is the oil? So I've got it set at medium.
Medium, yeah.
And you can kind of see it, you know, how much oil is really being absorbed. It's not really taking in that much, but
So this is done.
so again, you're looking for golden brown. Is your dipping sauce made from yogurt and mint?
No, that is raita. That is usually used for rice dishes.
I mean, you can use
you can use it.
But
Whichever-
traditionally, no, that's not
traditionally
what's
now
served.
Now I'm going to make the gluten-free ones, the balls.
The bonda.
So
So because this is sticky, it doesn't roll out. This is what we were talking about before. And I think other people are more aware of versions that do roll out. We're not, so that's why we stuck to this
So-
snack.
you have to coat it completely and then drop it.
And no, the bondas do not have an ingredient list that was sent out because it was last minute. But I can definitely get that out. So the tamarind sauce is the date chutney, the Mita chutney.
Mita means sweet. So
It's a sweet tangy. That's the tamarind chutney. If you guys have time, we can do a version. We can do a quick and easy. That's usually done with like you boil the dates and you get the extract and you do that. Our easy version includes apple butter to get that sweet flavor added. So we can definitely do that after. And so again, here you're looking for that same golden brown.
Golden brown. And
so this is the chutney that we've made. We did this with cilantro. So it's cilantro, peanuts.
this is my version. Everyone has their own version of this chutney, but the one I like to make is cilantro, green chilies, lemon juice, salt, peanuts, and hing. Hing is
Asafoetida. Here, pull these out and then I'll show them. Though.
Yeah. So these are done.
So okay. So we're just looking for this golden brown here. And then, Dad, can you show me the hing? This yellow. Okay, so this is what hing is. You can read it, okay. Asafoetida powder.
I'm gonna write.
And again, I can write all of these down. So all you want to do is blend all of those ingredients together. And I can definitely send out the recipe for that. But you just kind of blend everything until it looks like this. And so that's the traditional dipping sauce. And then the Mita Chutney, the one that's normally made with dates, this is the version she likes to make. That's a lot easier. You just add in some apple butter. About how much apple butter?
Oh, let me just. Okay, I'm taking about 2 spoons of apple butter.
I'm gonna go on the other side.
Oops, yeah, it's better. Apple butter. And then
let me go through this chutney and then I'll go through the cilantro again.
Yeah, and tamarind.
So we got 2 spoons of apple butter, 1.
Let me take a spoon.
Aduarlo.
About half spoon of tamarind. Teaspoon. I'm sorry. Okay. And what did I do with all this? And about quarter spoon of chili powder. Maybe the same amount of salt. And this is the actual main ingredient. This is coriander and cumin powder. Usually you get it in Indian store, the ready-made, but if you don't have it, it's called dana jiru or coriander and cumin powder.
You can also blend your own.
Yeah, you can blend your own. And I'm putting about half a spoon of that. Mix all this together. Add a little bit of water because it's too thick.
So we're looking at a tablespoon of water?
Yeah, about 2 tablespoons. And if you want it diluted completely, you can add more water. It doesn't matter how much water.
I mean, it's really a dipping sauce, so the consistency that you're comfortable with. This is just a dipping sauce for our samosas. To whoever just asked.
And this is the shortcut, easy method. And instead of apple butter, we usually boil the dates till it's very soft, then cool it and blend it with all this stuff. That's what is, and usually in in restaurants, this is more dilute.
Yeah, we just enjoy it a little bit thicker, but you can add water to get more of that restaurant consistency.
So this is what it.
But this is a little bit easier to like hold in the samosas.
Yeah, and these two are traditionally the chutneys, which
the dipping sauces that go with the chutneys that go with the samosas and the bonda. Can you go through what's in the cilantro again?
Okay, cilantro. I used about big bunches, not the little ones. The big bunches, 2 bunches, and then about half a cup of peanuts. It doesn't matter whether it's raw peanuts or salted peanuts or whatever, because you'll be adding salt. So peanuts and then salt and green chilies according to your taste. If you don't want it to be too spicy, too hot, add a little less. I add a little more to it.
You can blend it and then kind of taste it and continue.
Continue. And maybe about a tablespoon of say about 1/8 spoon of hing. That's what we call it.
The asafoetida.
Asafoetida. So I'm going to write all this and blend all this together. And I usually make a lot more than this, like 2-3 containers.
This kind of goes in everything. Like we've got a friend that puts it in burritos. So you know,
sandwiches.
It goes on eggs, like
eggs,
literally
anything. So that's why I usually make it and just keep it. So once in 10 days or maybe 15 days, when it's over, I make it again. So.
And it freezes, just in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, so these are the traditional dipping sauces. But really, I mean, you can use anything that's got kind of a sweet and sour, kind of tangy profile.
So, sweet and sour sauce, or some people like it even with what do you call salsa, or ketchup. And can you think of anything else?
Ketchup. Somebody suggested mango chutney.
Yeah, mango chutney, anything. But these two are the traditional ones.
So I think the picture that was sent out had these two in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that concludes our class. If there's any questions or anything, we're available.
I think we all want to show our appreciation. So you could do, Ruby, what do we like to do? Clapping, emotion.
Thank you. Sorry, I was really nervous. I haven't done this.
Well, I hope it works out for everyone, and let us know how it goes.
Please
reach out, definitely.
Yeah, also tag us in your final results on Instagram and Facebook, Tradition Kitchens. Anybody want to show us? Anybody like a superstar? Irv, are you waving? Did you accomplish the task, or are you to be determined?
All right, they're a little misshapen, but they're delicious because of you all. So I don't know if you can see this. I'm really bad with technology, but
oh my God, that's so
there
great.
they are. So we didn't capture the shape perfectly, but the taste is great. Thank you so much.
Yay, that's really good.
Wow, well done. Awesome. Who else wants to show us how that looks fantastic? Oh my gosh, I wish I lived near everybody to go and sample. Okay, IL. Adding you to the spotlight. Show us what you made.
Well, I tried my best, so it doesn't look as perfect as you guys, but I tried.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
It's called an amateur samosa.
Practice, so it's okay. That's
Did they say no?
Thank you. It's called an amateur samosa.
Yes, next time it'll be the experience version. So
yes, thank you. Thank you.
And I put someone else on spotlight here. We've got Jason.
One second.
Hi.
Nice. Whoa.
Wow.
They're tasty.
Wow. Well done. And Jason, where are you calling in from?
At Chicago.
Cool. Awesome. Hopefully now you have dinner.
Yes, we have korma coming to accompany.
Oh, wow. There you go. Very cool. Anybody else want to come on kitchen cam? Roxana, I see you and family. Let's add you and see how's it going. Oh my gosh, you even have beautiful display. Wow. Can you move your wax paper down a little? Okay, perfect. I got a nice picture of it. Congratulations. Have you tasted them yet?
No, we haven't tasted them yet. They're still cooking.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, thank you. All right, any final kitchen cams or questions? Ruby, I don't know. I'm not looking at the chat. I see lots of thank yous. So
I'm glad everyone liked it.
Thank you for coming and watching my.
Oh, Rick. Let's show Rick off. Let's go to Rick's kitchen. This is so fun.
We made ours in the air fryer, actually.
Ooh.
Wow.
But they still look like they're going to be flaky, so we're excited to try them.
Nice. Our Instagram is Tradition Kitchen, so I'll put it in the chat. Instagram.com/tradition kitchens. You'll all get that person left who asked me the question and they sent it just to me, but I'll send to everyone. You'll all get the additional recipes and everything else. Ruby, shall we wrap it up officially if we don't have any questions? But Lindley and Sean, please stay on.
Yeah, I think we should. Just to keep things moving, I just want to say a major thank you to our wonderful chefs for really making this class really special and for all the really awesome varieties you gave us. It was amazing. And thank you to all the participants. It was really great to see so many people from so many different places and walks of life, as someone mentioned in the chat, joining. And it was great to see people cooking and just people watching, maybe potentially going to cook in the future, maybe just not as much of a cook, but just here. All of it is welcome, and we really hope to see you guys at more classes in the future to keep making this special. So thank you to all of you guys. We really appreciate you coming.
Thank you guys for coming to our class.
Thank you.
Yes, what a dynamic mother, daughter, and dad, a trip trifecta. Yay.
Thank you.
As you all log off, anybody has a kitchen skill that you want to teach an amazing dish in 2021, let us know. We're all volunteer led, so we're always looking for experts to share their cultural story and dishes with us. So you can send us an email, traditionisthekitchen@gmail.com, and Ruby, Brianna, Stephen, or I will get back to you. And we're so grateful for all of you to help make this time extra meaningful. So stay safe, stay home, and eat. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
This is always my favorite part, watching the names go. I'm gonna stop recording. And thank you, Ruby and Parul and Geeta for an amazing show. Let me stop recording.